Hey guys, the other day I was going through a drawer in a toolbox that belonged to my dad, and I came across some more tools from my granddad. So I thought I'd bring you down here on the workbench and let's take a look at what we found. So I thought these were some pretty interesting tools. Just a few things, like I said, from my grandfather, and they're kind of unique. Some of these are. This one here is not necessarily very unique. It says made in USA, but it looks like that's had some chemicals eat away at it. I don't know, maybe he ground it that way, but I am curious what he used that for. It's just a dental pick, but very curious about that one. Had these pinchers here, these pliers, self-gripping pliers. Says stainless steel USA right there. So who knows what he would have used those for. For those of you who are new to the channel, my grandfather was a watchmaker, and so he would have used some of these smaller tools. And you know how nice a dental pick is. This here says 5/6 bunt, fried immunity, made in USA. Fried, I don't know what that says right there. I don't know if that can be made out on the camera or not. It says made in USA. I just don't know who the name is. So anyways, very interesting. And this one here, immunity. So I don't know if that's the brand that was on that other one as well. So it just says immunity. Yeah, see, that's got the HU fry or something on there. So it must be the same company. If you guys know, put it in the comments if you're familiar with that. What is this one? Yeah, same thing. So this immunity, made in the USA, must be a brand. So that was kind of cool. This one here I came across, I don't know. Tell you what, let me take a quick break and take some little scratch pad to that. All right, let's take a scotch break and see if we can't clean this up just a little bit. See what this says. Yeah, that should come out better. It's upside down. Phillips. License 7. Patent number USA. Number 1, 2 points, Bridgeport. So, it's kind of cool. This thing here, it's a leather punch, a hole punch. SC Osborne, 2/8 inch. I don't know what the 2 stands for, but I'm sure this is an 1/8 inch hole. So that center punch, or not a center punch, a leather punch. Those of you who have been with me for a while remember we did Granddad's toolbox, and he had one of these. And I was kind of curious why he had one, since he didn't drink. Now, I know you can pop lids off and stuff with this and open soup cans with it. But somebody in the comments of that video set me straight. He said before my grandfather became a watchmaker, he was a farmer. And oil cans used to come in metal cans, and you had to pop the tops. And that's probably what that was used for. So that's kind of cool. Then we have, save these things for later, have this one here, which doesn't seem like that big a deal, but most of them you can't find these made in the US. This says PEM USA right there. And most of the time you're going to find them from Pakistan, or it says right there, stainless steel USA. Generally you'll find these made in China or Pakistan, so I thought that was kind of cool. Then we have this little mirror. I don't know if you can see yourself there. But this little mirror I got to looking at, and it says stainless Germany. So this is made in Germany. I thought, you know what, that might come in handy. Trying to see underneath a tool or inside of something. So I'm glad to have that and put that into my toolbox. This little needle nose, first I saw it as a needle nose, but it's something unique there. And I'm not sure exactly. I mean, that is very specifically milled. So if you guys know what that's for, let me know. Because you can see how it's concave there, so it's like it's to crimp something. So I'm curious about that. This one here says Pier, USA. Like I said, if any of you know anything, I had one guy, one of my viewers, who is a watchmaker, and he commented on some of this. So if you are watching and know what that is, or one of you others, somebody else knows, let me know. This one here is a very unique tool as well. And several of these tools, this one, and this one, all have the same name. Now, I don't know if it's a foreign name, if that's German or some other language. I just can't quite make it out. ACER fondue, and I can't really read that either. At first I thought it said something tissue, but that didn't make any sense. I'm not really sure. Plus, I'm not really sure what this is for. Now, this up here, they have these set screws that hold everything in place. This one here can be set so that the depth will be different, and you have a set screw that you have to loosen to get that depth. So I'm not really sure what this is either, but it's pretty interesting. I'm kind of guessing it might be for a locksmith, but I do not know. I'd just be guessing. So I'm not real sure on that one. And then all of you know what this here is. It's just a line level. It's a Stanley Handyman line level and made here in the USA. So I thought that would be neat to keep, as most of them are not made this way anymore. Most of them are made of plastic. They aren't made of aluminum and these steel little hooks. So I think that is something cool. I'm probably going to find a home for it up on the wall. This thing was very interesting. It has, you can see there, it says the LSS Starrett. Oh, that's what it is. The LS Starrett Company, Althol, Massachusetts, USA. So you can see that right there. And here on the other side, it says number 1, 5.5 inch. And I was curious as what it was. It does look like cutters, but when you read up here on the top or on these things, it says music wire. So it says 4 music wire right there on the top. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know why he would have had that, but I'm assuming for pianos and guitars and different things, being able to snip the wire. There's a set screw right there to set the depth on how tight that will go. Still a good working condition. I've taken these and just run them through on the wire brush so I could read things to you. For the most part, I don't know how much time. I might revisit this and clean it up sometime, but for right now, I thought it was cool. And then this is a little anvil. Looks like it's for being able to set it into a larger anvil so that you can then hammer on the top of this. But you could also clamp that into a vise and use it as an anvil as well. Plus you use it freehand they use these in body work for cars, putting something like this in the back and being able to tap on it. Now this has that same name on it that I can't quite read and I'm not sure about. So if you guys know what that is, let me know. So again, guys, a little blast from the past, visiting Granddad's tools and some of the things he might have used. So I'm enjoying going through. Every so often I'll find some toolbox back in the corner and I pull it out, start going through it, and start finding some of these things. I even found 2 boxes over here. I have already looked into them, but we'll save those for another video sometime, and they are definitely my granddad's watchmaking tools. So we'll do that again. And I even found over on one of the cabinets, all covered in dust and cobwebs, and started looking at it, and I recognized it as well from when I was a kid. So we'll revisit some of those later on. You know, this tool right here just was all gummed up and cruddy and just a mess. And so I cleaned it up with a little bit of solvent and some in the wire brush, the wire wheel. And I was curious, why is everything so oily and greasy from days gone past? And then I remembered a story that my father-in-law told me about when he was in Germany. He had been drafted during the Korean conflict and ended up in Germany. And there was a group of tanks there, and there was a tank operator who always kept getting low marks on his inspections because he wouldn't clean the tank. There was grease and everything all over the place. And my father-in-law finally went to him one time and says, well, you know, they keep harping on you, they keep nailing you and giving you poor marks on your inspections. Why don't you clean up the tank? And the guy said, I don't want my tank to look pretty, I want my tank to function. And if we get into a conflict, I want it to work. And that's one of the things. He'd always clean it off, he told me, and get all the gunk off, but then when they re-greased it, anything came out, he left it there because dirt and stuff would stick to that and wouldn't get into the joints and everything else. In today's day and age, I think our car, it doesn't even have, I mean, the bearings are sealed, there aren't any zerks because all those are sealed. Everything is sealed up anymore. But back when, you could fix them up and maintain them, and that's kind of the mentality they have. And that's why I think I find a lot of tools, and when I'm going through stuff, finding tools with lots of grease and grime and grit on them, but inside you can clean those up and they work really, really, really well. So guys, thanks for joining me on this video. Something here I noticed that I forgot to show you that I think is kind of cool is there's a little seal or a little imprint on the back of this mirror. And I thought that was kind of neat as well. I think it's an Indian head and it says front surface. So I don't know if that's the name for it or the brand of it. Not the brand, but the mark for it that they called it. Anyways, I thought that was kind of cool. So thanks so much for joining me on this, going back and looking at some of these tools. I've heard from a lot of you guys on tools that you have from your past, and I keep meaning to make a video on some of those that I have found, and I intend to one of these days. I just haven't gotten around to it, so bear with me, but I just thank you guys when you contact me and send me pictures and things like that about things that you have from your family that has been in the past. It is always great. I love visiting that. Don't want to live in the past, but yet it is fun to revisit and look at the way they did things. They made things to last, and I think that is a great way to do things. Thanks again for joining me on this video. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.